Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's a weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, the 24th day of February, Discover Girl Day. I Hate Coriander Day. I don't know what that is. National Tortilla Chip Day. National Trading Card Day, Twin Peaks Day, and World Bartender Day. Sunday, the 25th day of February, International Sword Swallowers Day. Ew.
I've seen that done. That's nasty.
Let's All Eat Right Day, National Chocolate Covered Nut Day. How are those two things on the same day? National Clam Chowder Day, Pistol Patent Day, Quiet Day, and Ski Naked Day. Wow. What a weird weekend, man. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And I've got a guest joining me, Dylan Jones. He's got a book. It's called Loaded, Velvet Underground Book. So this is about the band, the Velvet Underground. And he's got a pretty interesting book. We're going to chat with him all about that coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Does a firing by any other name still sting? Well, yes. But that's not stopping some corporate executives these days from coming up with alternate names for the act of letting somebody go from their company in hopes of avoiding online criticism. Many companies are avoiding the harsh-sounding word fired in their press releases and official comments and replacing them with euphemisms like involuntary career event or right-sizing, even though it doesn't change the outcome for those people. Some examples: Citi described cutting 20,000 jobs back in November as creating a simplified operating model.
Okay.
UPS said 12,000 layoffs were an attempt to fit our organization to our strategy. Stanford professor Robert Hutton called the use of soft language jargon monoxide. He said, although it's intended to soften the blow to the person receiving the axe, it may actually have the opposite effect. I saw a comedian that was talking about that. He said, my mother gets really upset when I say, I say that. She goes, don't say it. You weren't fired. And he's like, Mom, they took my keys away and they wouldn't let me come back.
They fired me.
So, no, you were let go. You weren't fired. I thought that was, they took my keys away and wouldn't let me come back. All right. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know that some football injuries could become a thing of the past? Researchers with the University of Colorado Boulder have developed a revolutionary new padding design that's capable of withstanding significant impacts. This comes as players consistently deal with brain trauma from repeated head injuries. Using advanced computer algorithms, the team developed a way of redesigning the interior structure of cushioning materials. Testing so far has shown the 3D printed blocks can absorb about 6 times more energy than standard foam and can outperform other designs by up to 25%. The project that it says the future looks promising for this project, developing pads that could provide optimal protection under all circumstances. So I think that this would be something that could be utilized in more than just like sports helmets. It could be utilized in a lot of other things as well. So cool stuff. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. The new Karate Kid has been found. Sony Pictures has cast Ben Wang, the star of Disney Plus series American Born Chinese, to star in their latest installment of the coming-of-age martial arts franchise. The new Karate Kid film will have Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio reprising their iconic characters. So this is where, like, worlds
Two
are
worlds
colliding.
collide.
Yeah, which is kind
Yep.
of cool. Plot details are being kept under a bonsai tree. Anyway, we should be seeing a little more about this soon. It is set for release December 13th, so we got a little bit of time to wait. And if you don't want to wait to see a trailer, maybe you can see this one. The trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine smashed viewership records following their debut during a little show called the Super Bowl. Have you heard about that thing? Disney says that the trailer was viewed a staggering 365 million times the very first day. That surpassed the previous one-day record held by another Marvel property, Spider-Man No Way Home, 355.5 million, so 10 million more. Viewership of the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer was likely aided by the fact that they were on during the Super Bowl, which was watched by more people than they had in the past as well. So that's kind of cool. It was the highest viewed broadcast in television history. I didn't watch it. Heidi, did you?
I did not.
No, we were watching Marble Olympics instead. I wish I was kidding. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. According to a study, drinking just 2 cups of coffee per day cuts your risk of liver disease in half.
Really?
2 cups of coffee per day. So this giant mug that I have,
That'd be 2 cups. That'd be probably more like 3 cups.
it's 22 ounces. So I don't know how many cups are in an ounce or ounces are in a cup.
It's
or whatever.
8 ounces are in a cup.
Oh, wow. That's almost 3 cups.
So it's almost 3 cups.
And I drink 2 of those. So I drink 6 cups a day. So my liver's great. I don't know if
Or you could be doing damage.
I'm probably
Yeah.
going the wrong way, actually. And I got a good news story here. A Louisville, Kentucky school bus driver, known for going above and beyond, has his act of kindness go viral. Larry Ferris Jr. received notice a little boy was having a rough morning. He said that normally when he picks up Levi, the child is waiting with a big smile. But this day, he was sitting with a jacket over his head. Aww. The first grader explained through tears that he didn't have pajamas for pajama day at school.
Oh.
The bus driver said that his first thought was, I have to fix this. After he finished his morning route, or route, depending on how you say it, he headed to a Family Dollar store and purchased 2 pairs of jammies for Levi and headed back to the school to present them to the boy. Quote, he was so excited. You should have seen how his face lit up. He said, when asked about this by a local reporter, young Levi said, when he got me the pajamas, I did a happy cry. Isn't that just the best?
I love that so much.
I think that's really cool. Here's my question. He purchased 2 pairs, though. I wonder why.
Maybe because the little boy didn't have any pajamas at home, so he got him 2 pairs so that he would
I
have
see.
some to alternate and do laundry. So he has some to sleep in, too.
That makes sense. I didn't know
Yeah.
if maybe it was 2 different sizes.
Oh, I
It
just
doesn't say.
love that so much.
Here's the thing. Usually I'll read a story about this and I'll get a little choked up and then Heidi will poke and laugh at me. Today, she's the one getting choked up. So I love that. Heidi does have a heart. No matter what all of your emails say. All right. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thank you for listening to the John Ed Heidi Show. Excited to visit with Dylan Jones. He's the author of a new book, Loaded, The Life and Afterlife of the Velvet Underground. Dylan, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's very good to speak to you today.
So let's talk a little bit about the book, Loaded, and what was it that first got you interested in this particular topic?
Well, I think as a biographer, you have to have a certain amount of not just confidence, but arrogance that you can do justice to a particular subject in a way that no one else can. And I've done a few oral biographies. I did an oral biography of David Bowie. I did one of the 90s. the Britpop period and also one on the New Romantic period. And I wanted to use the same process to discuss the Velvet Underground because it had never been done in that form. And also, like I say, I wanted to try and do a biography of the band in a way that had never been done before. And I think when you embark upon these things, you always hope that what you're going to do is going to be the kind of benchmark signature piece of work. I think you have to start out with that ambition.
I love that. Now, you're a best-selling author. You've also helped edit, between writing and editing, over 25 books. And how does it, like when you're looking at trying to pick a topic like this, the Velvet Underground, and you're going to do a deep dive on that, you're devoting a lot of time to this subject. So how do you select what's going to be the next project? Because you don't want to get like part of the way into this, you're a year in, and then realize, I don't even like this topic. So what does that process look like for picking a project like this?
I think you go on gut instinct. Sometimes you go for a subject which hasn't been done before, and other times you pick a subject which has. But like I say, you go in with the attitude that I need to really raise my game to do something that's going to be better than competition. Because I think that with a lot of these books, there's a lot of music books around at the moment. But what I tend to do is, I think there are three types of people you need to speak to. There's the first third, who are the people that everyone talks to, the people you need to talk to, the people that you have to talk to in order to be taken seriously as a biographer. And then there's a second third, which is all the people who have just as much of a right to be included in a book like this, but perhaps haven't been spoken to before. And they might be journalists or photographers or promoters or hairdressers or lovers or what have you. And then the other third tend to be the people that you bump into along the way. So you'll be interviewing someone and they'll say, you should really speak to Kevin. And you go, well, who's Kevin? And they tell you, and you go out of your way to try and find Kevin. So in all of the books that I do, there are an awful lot of Kevins.
And the further you get from a subject, if this was a band that was, a brand new band today and they were on the top 40 charts right now, would that be easier to do a book about that? Or is that harder when they're brand new? Because like Velvet Underground, they've been around a long time. Is it harder to find information and find people to talk about it when it's somebody that's been around that long and maybe even forgotten by some?
I think that the challenge that I had with this book, unlike any other book that I've done, is that I really felt like I was racing against time, because there are a lot of people who I spoke to for this book who are in their 70s and 80s, and there was a chance that if I didn't get to them, they might die. In fact, two of the people that I did interview for the Velvet Underground book, Full Loaded, have subsequently died. There was Seymour Stein, who ran Sire Records. I did the last interview with him, and also a great painter who knew Lou Reed very well called Duncan Hanna. Also, that was the very last interview he did. I interviewed him around my kitchen table in Hyde Park in London, and a week later he went back to New York and died of a heart attack.
Oh, wow. Well, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me about the new book, Loaded, and I'm going to throw a link to make it easy for people to find this. Thank you so much. Do you have like your next project in mind already, or are you taking a little break now?
I'm going to take a little break, and luckily for me, the Velvet Underground book has really taken off in the US. So there's a lot of promo to do, and it's a very exciting period.
And there's a lot of great press about it, so congrats on that. I'm sure it's going to do well. Dylan, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much indeed. Enjoy. Have a good day.
Absolutely. Again, Dylan Jones, he's the author of Loaded, The Life and Afterlife of the Velvet Underground. It's out now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
NASA was inspired to use countdowns before a blastoff by a 1929 science fiction film.
Okay.
So that's why they do that. It was like, oh, hey, that was in a movie
That was
way
cool.
back in the
Let's
1920s.
do that.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Michelangelo wrote a poem about how much he hated painting the Sistine Chapel. Because he painted the ceiling in there.
Yeah, I bet that. I mean, I hate painting just regular ceilings. I couldn't imagine having to do that.
I was like, oh, are we done with this now? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The word huh is understood in every language. Huh is the same everywhere. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Originally, dunce caps were signifying intelligence. So they probably didn't
Really?
call them dunce caps then. Another fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Generally, the colder the air is, the smaller the snowflake is. I've seen that before, where it's like very fine snow and it's freezing cold. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The term brain freeze was invented by a company. Which one? Brain freeze. Who do you think of?
Some ice cream company.
No, 7-Eleven. Because of the Slurpee.
Oh, the Slurpee.
Yeah. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. A survey found this is the best thing you can do to start your day. What is it? I've been trying to do this more often.
Exercise.
No. Drink a glass of water.
Oh,
Wake
yeah.
up, boom.
First thing, drink.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Did you hear me chugging that bottle of water? Like I was drinking water so much I was like choking it down. I'm like, I just gotta get all this down. I don't know how much water that was, but it was too much. That's how much it was. All right, I'm gonna have to do less tomorrow. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A bizarre act of vandalism was reported at an art exhibition in Moscow where a security guard damaged an art exhibit and then tried to eat it.
Ew.
Organizers of a contemporary art exhibit in Moscow, it's the VDNKH Exhibition Center. I don't know if that's a word or if those are letters that stand for something. They noticed that one of the exhibits was missing its main protagonist. The art piece named Escape of the Goldfish featured a goldfish bowl with a goldfish sticking out of it next to a painting of an open sea with another goldfish appearing as if it had jumped from the bowl into the waves.
Okay.
The thought-provoking concept must have caught the eye of the security guard on duty, who ended up destroying the very thing he was paid to protect. Security footage shows the guard casually holding the painting of the open sea with one hand and pulling on the goldfish with the other until it popped off. Then he smelled the fake goldfish and tried to take a bite of it. When confronted, the man said that he had a tough night with very, very little sleep. So, and you're fired. Such a weird story. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. These are the funniest tweets of the week from women like this one. I did some financial planning, and it looks like I can retire at age 97 and live comfortably for 11 minutes.
I think that was my tweet.
You don't tweet. How about this one? Oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, like, much worse. Is rabies real, or is it a vast government conspiracy aimed at stopping me from cuddling with raccoons?
That's adorable.
All right, and we'll squeeze in one more over here. How about this one? I'm flying this week. Should I pack an Allen wrench, or will one be provided by the airline? Because the planes were having issues.
Right, when they were all falling apart.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's terrifying.
Funniest tweets of the week, and there's several more that you can see. It's the list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. I got two quotes because the first one's so short, but it's so funny. George Carlin said, "If you can't beat them, arrange to have them beaten." I remember hearing him say that.
He was brilliant.
So funny. And Quentin Crisp said, "Never keep up with the Joneses. Drag them down to your level. It's cheaper." I like that as well. Very good.
True.
Couple of quotes today. See, you got a bonus quote. Don't say I never did nothing nice for you now. Quote of the day, two of them, come your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. You go there, you'll see Heidi's photo.
I don't know why
me
you
too,
keep
but
saying
because you bring up the beauty of that page by
I
like
see.
250%.
Okay.
GenesisGoldIRA.com. All right. Student athletes gift over 100 scooters to elementary students on Valentine's Day. This is cool.
Aww.
This is from Orland Park, Illinois. Over 100 students at Fenway Park Elementary were left in awe Valentine's Day when they were surprised with brand new scooters thanks to the generosity of a group of student athletes. Buddy Helpers, a nonprofit organization dedicated to inspiring student athletes to make a positive impact both on and off the field, orchestrated this surprise gift for 102 lucky students. The school's auditorium buzzed with excitement as parents and teachers and children gathered for what they thought was going to be a routine presentation, unaware of the surprise awaiting them. Fenway Park Elementary School principal Sandy Hutchinson expressed her delight as the unexpected gesture. She said it was a well-kept secret. It's amazing. Look at these kids' faces. The random act of kindness that happens are just so much fun. Anyway, all of these kids got a really cool little scooter. And then there's like a video of these kids riding the scooters around in the gym.
That's so great. That's so cute.
I think it's really neat. I remember, for some reason, this made me think of when our son was, he went to like a nursing home with his class, and everybody had a grandparent that they got to adopt.
Yeah.
And our son, they were instructed.
I don't know why this made you think
I don't
of
know.
that.
It just made me, but they said, okay, make a card for your grandparent, your grandma or your grandpa. So our son made a card for his real life grandma. And then they go to this thing, and he didn't bring one for this lady because he didn't bring one. He didn't know that was for her. And he gets there, and she's like, eat your cake.
No, shut up and eat your peaches.
That's what it was.
Yeah, she was not happy.
He came home, he's like, I think I made a mistake today. He was like 7.
It was so sad.
I was like, oh, we should probably get her a card. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.